Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I am Stacy and today's video is going to be about embracing your gray, but don't click off yet. There's going to be a lot of other topics that I'm going to be covering on my channel, so stick around and subscribe. I'm going to be talking about dating in your 40s, single mom life, surviving motherhood, life hacks, budgeting, financing, planning. This is just one of many topics, so please come back if this one doesn't interest you, and hopefully we will find something that does. I started going gray very young, and I was always changing my color, and I tried so many colors out there, pretty much every color you could try. A lot of the time I was blonde, so I was doing blondes, I was doing highlights, I was doing lowlights, I was doing brown, I was doing dark brown, medium brown, I did red, like so many different colors, and I never seemed to really like one that seemed to fit me. It just always seemed like, I was going in and it was pretty, but it just wasn't something that I felt like completely suited my look. So I did that for a really long time just because I felt like, I can't go gray. My roots would start coming in. I'd be like, okay, time to go back and get it colored again. And at first it took longer to get to that point that I needed to color. And then towards the end, I would go and get it colored and I would feel like 2 weeks later, I already needed to go back again. So the time that it took to just get it colored, the amount of money it took to pay for it to get colored, it just was kind of becoming a big chore for me, and it wasn't something that I was really looking forward to. I'm 42 and my mother, she had beautiful white hair. So I was thinking, I'm in my 40s and my mom looked amazing with her hair, and I always, kind of loved to have little pieces of her that show in me. So I kind of even thought of it as, this will be something when I look in the mirror that will remind me of her. She has passed, so any little memory that I can get that makes me see myself, or see her and me, is something that makes me happy. So that kind of was something that kind of kept me going and made me think about it as well. Dad had this red hair, and then my gray was coming in with red, and that really, really stuck out. So I'll put some pictures in for you that kind of will show you what it started looking like when I had the growth coming in with my gray and then mixed with my red. It wasn't a pretty sight. I had to think, am I going to go for this? Am I confident enough to do this? Are my kids going to think that I'm old, that I'm walking around with gray hair? And I, didn't want them to think that, I looked older than I should. So that was something that I had at the back of my mind. But my kids were very, very supportive. So I also joined a Facebook group as well around this time, and it was Gray and Proud on Facebook. And there were a lot of members on there as well, and a lot of different ages. So I was looking at their pictures, looking at kind of what ideas they had. I put my first post out there and I kind of, introduced myself, and I had my red hair, and I kind of said, I'm thinking about starting to stop the dye, and I had a lot of encouraging words. So that really helped me. I felt like that was kind of like a support group that, maybe could give me that extra inspiration to keep on going and to stick it out. So that definitely helped me. So I liked to see, people and kind of what they did, what might work for me, what might not work for me. So when I decided I was going to go with it, I was going to start the process. My next thing was finding a hairstylist that had done it before and who might have some tips to kind of tell me, what has worked for another client. So I went on Instagram and I found this young girl who had pictures of someone that she had transitioned and like her before and afters. And I really liked how it looked. And so I thought, I'm going to go and meet with her and kind of sit down and have like a little consultation with her and see if maybe her style will fit with me, because I feel like it's very important to have someone who supports you. So this was about, trying to remember, like around May 25th. So almost a year ago, when I started my first session with her. And I went in and we lightened my hair down and we applied toner. So I will show you a picture of the first time I went in and when we did that. And I didn't, cut it that much shorter at the time. I was just lightening it, and then I was doing the toner. And then she kind of focused on the top part. It's not really underneath. So we did that. I also was using, I have it here, when I had the red to kind of like tame the red down, I had the Fanola No Orange shampoo, which I just got on Amazon. And I felt like that also, before I went into her, was starting to kind of like tone the reds down. So I think, this is for like anti-orange shampoo is what it's for. So I kind of had used that as well before I started going in to try to see if I could kind of tame my red down. And about 4 weeks later, so I went back in, lightened it down, and toned it as well. And this time I did get a little cut off. I wasn't, as I said, ready to go super pixie short, but I was ready to cut a little bit off. So we cut a little bit off, and I really liked it. And so then I went back again a month later, and I had the choice to lighten it down or do toner. And so I just decided at that visit just to do toner and see how it would work with just doing the toner. And my hair really did lighten up, which I was thankful for. I think the third time I went shorter, I even did an undercut. So in the back, you can't really see it anymore probably, but I did like an undercut in the back so that it was pretty short. I had also done the sides, and you can see, let's see if you can see it here, growing in, like my sides are a little shorter, and I went pretty short. Actually, when I cut the sides, I cut out all of the dyed hair. So then I felt like seeing progress for me and doing little things like that, like kept my momentum and kept me going. So I thought, if I can have like a section of my hair that's all my hair, like this is all mine, and I know that there's not any dye on this, it just for some reason made me feel better, and visually I could see the progression of what my hair was looking like when it was growing in, and kind of what it was going to look like. So when I was getting it lightened down through those visits, I used a few products that I had read about, and they are Overtone, and there's a few different types of the conditioners, and it can temporarily lighten your hair, which I didn't have a problem of it staying in, but I think there have been a few people who had said that it did not completely wash out of their hair. But I had tried the coloring conditioner by Overtone, and this was something that I had only done once. And then I also got the Overtone in Pastel Silver, the daily conditioner, for that, and I do use this still, and I used it in the beginning. The Pastel Silver, there's a lot of different silvers. The Pastel Silver is the least noticeable and drastic, so I went with that for myself, and I feel like it just made my hair smooth. I liked the smell of it. I would use it like if I was going out, I felt like it just smoothed like the line separating the natural color and the dyed color of growing in. I felt like it kind of like made it a little bit more of a smoother line down it. So I definitely would recommend this. And as I mentioned, there's different silvers, but I used the Pastel Silver. So I still use those products. I also was using, and I've used this before when I had blonde hair, the Fanola No Yellow shampoo. Also, I got this from Amazon as well. And I felt like this brightened up like my whites in my hair. I loved like the white parts in my hair. You can probably see that, like over here, I have a little bit more white that's growing in. So I do use this, and I just got it off of Amazon, and it works fine off of Amazon, and it's lasted me a really long time because it's a really big bottle. I also have learned things that work for my hair. Like I normally put a curl in it. I feel like when it is completely straight, I notice, of course, the difference in the hair that's growing out. So I kind of like to curl it up a little bit. Nothing too much. It's not too time consuming, but just kind of like, run the iron through it and just do a little bit of a curl just to kind of separate it, just to kind of blend it in so that it's not completely separated out when it's straight. It's just like you see it and then boom. So I've kind of been doing that as well, just to kind of make the process a little bit easier for me. Kind of just to round everything out, as I had mentioned in the beginning, this truly was a life-changing experience for me. And not only did it just start the process of my hair, growing in naturally and stop the long haircut appointments and save me the money, it's made my hair healthier. I feel like my hair is thicker than it was before. I think it also helped me do a little more soul searching kind of what I want. So I had gone and gotten my nose pierced. I didn't have my nose pierced prior, and I just felt like, that's my look. That's like something new that I want to do. I had also like changed my style a little bit, and I'm still trying to figure out what my style is. But just trying to wear more brighter, bolder colors and more, like things that I feel like are more hip for me, and versus just kind of being more like plain and boring. So I'm a little more daring than I used to be before with my colors. I'm a little bit more daring with my clothes and wanting to try out and see different styles that maybe might fit me. I also always wore my contacts before, and for some reason afterwards I was like, I want some like kind of cute, funky, hip glasses. So I got my glasses, and now I wear my glasses a lot of the time. But it just, again, brings me more style and brings me me feeling a little bit more like that this is the way that I want to look. I want to stand out a little bit, and I just want to be me, and I want to look a little different. It's kind of also helped me to care a little bit less about what people think. There will be people that you may say that you're growing out your natural color and you're going gray. And even in the beginning, I used to kind of like almost like justify it or be like, oh yeah, I'm going gray, and almost like it was a bad thing or like silly that I was doing it or laugh it off. And now I'm like proud. I'm like, yeah, I'm going gray. This is my natural color. And I'm sure there'll be people who feel that maybe, oh, you're too young. You should wait and hold off. And, you're too young to be gray. But there's even nowadays a lot of, younger adults and purposely taking many treatments to get their hair to look like a silver or a gray color. I think the last thing for me is just accepting that I am growing older, and that it's exciting, and that it doesn't have to be something that I try to hide, something that I try to cover up, something that I don't want to look like an old person because I'm letting my gray hair grow in. Something that I'm proud of. I am older, and I think that the gray is beautiful, and I think it all is kind of how you hold yourself and the confidence that you can show and not care. Definitely do not care what other people think. If you are happy, then that is the most important. So I'm hoping that this kind of helps you a little bit. I can definitely go into more detail, and then I'll kind of show you any updates as far as my journey. But as I mentioned, it's almost been a year. I have no regrets. I definitely feel like it is something that I was ready to do, but you have to be ready for it. And I also think you have to have the support of others, and you have to find people who are going to give you that, encouragement throughout the process and along the way. For watching my video, I hope that you subscribe and you come back and you watch more of my videos. If you have any ideas or suggestions on going gray that you want to leave in the comments below, maybe any products that you've used that have helped you, maybe if you want to just comment on what the process has taught you, please share below. I would love to read those comments as well. Shave, you can see. Oh no, hold on.